Alright, somebody just interrupted my video. I should have turned the phone off. This is the 1989 34-foot Searay. It's a 340 DA. It's got the stainless instead of the teak running down there. It's a very big boat. And I was going over, the bow rails. Huge section of bow rail, and it will actually fit. The holes won't line up, but on that 310 that needs a bow rail next to it. These bow rails are ungodly expensive. Yeah, sure will. Just got to slide those over and line them up. Pretty cool. Oh, and you can see how this is thick bow rail and how big those shoes are. You know, and you can see that they're bigger than the new ones. Cheap everything down these days. There's some old-timey horns. Model SPTD A-23. Use redip it. I bet you they're loud as hell. This guy was an L&M smoker. Here's the windshields. If anybody's got this boat, now again, we're trying to sell this whole boat as one shot. But we only do that for a few weeks. And, you know, we take bids on parts. And, you know, that's kind of what we do. And this is a windshield of a 1989 340 DA. It's got the rounded glass. See right there? That gets to be a pain in the neck. So if you break those, you're in trouble. And we got one. Oh, look. We saved the Searay logo. Okay, so I kind of walked the outside of the boat. And kind of went over that. And I'm going to go inside now. What's he got here? Yeah, he was sticking around with this engine, the guy. He just... Let me get this back on. It falls back in like they do. They get to be a pain in my neck, these things. Okay. There's that one. Alright, I'm going to go inside this boat. I know this is a long video. So some brackets there, some brackets there. You want to throw a barbecue over the side or whatever you want to do. These are kind of like some boat brackets. We're back in here. I'm going to go inside. And this is why I like the 80s vintage Searays. I mean, the new ones are nice and all that, but they're not nearly as roomy as these. Alright. Let me try it. Okay. So when you walk in, like most Searays, there's your panel. There's your breaker panel. And I'm sure everything's good with this thing. You know, AC converter, the shore power, the whole thing. Look at the engine. I don't believe him for a minute. And they were all about the mauve. I think you weren't allowed to call it pink. You had to call it mauve. The headliner could use some love. You can see it. I don't know if you can see it in video. It's not horrible, but there's some spots. It's good back here. The headliner is good back here. I could tell it was shrink wrapped for at least some of its life in that storage because some of the moisture got in there. So there's going to be some liner work for somebody to do in here if they wanted to keep it. It's got those. There's the ankle locker up there. Pretty big bed. And it's got the little storage things that Searay does underneath there. And of course one up front. But if you're familiar with these boats, it's a big ass bed. This is why I like the older Searays, because they're just so roomy. Okay, it's got an AC in here somewhere. Check out the Raritan ice maker. Condition unknown. It's probably one of those ones that makes 8 pounds a day. If you're on a boat, you want an ice maker. The Norcold refrigerator. From what I understand, he told me everything works on this boat, but You know, come on, guy. Put a, you know, spend 12 bucks and put a cover on your thing. Come on. Here's some damage to that door. I don't know if anybody remembers these vintage doors. There's your coffee pot. There's your electric stove. It's a Princess 220 electric stove. Let me call it cooktop. And then we got the microwave. And we got that. That's the ice maker. So that's that side of the boat. Let's do the head. Okay, it's got the vacuum flush. Let's see. It's got the spigot on there where you shower up to. It's got the plastic door up here. Let's see. See that? These mechanics get me involved in this. Okay, there's an intake for an AC. So apparently in this model, yes, they did. They put the AC. He tells me this works too. It's probably a big one. It's probably like a 12,000 BTU, something like that. 9,000 maybe. Enough to cool this boat. It is a heat and air conditioning sink. The ductwork seems to be all there. And that's how these seats fold down. That's why it's kind of cool. The interior of this isn't in bad shape relative to the, you know, it hasn't been in the sun. People think it's the rain that wears things out that are outdoors. It's actually the sun deteriorates everything. But the seats aren't in that bad a shape. I'm not seeing any tears. This boat, by the way, is filthy. You could just, I probably shouldn't even be making this video trying to sell it because it's so filthy, but why not? I'm trying to show everything that's wrong with it and everything that's right with it. These, oh, by the way, I should show this. These things fold down. You gotta kind of do the click thing, and then the whole thing folds down. The other side will do the same, and the whole thing will fold down to a bed. So this is kind of a good thing. They kind of got away from it, but I like this model, having that, because my kids would crash right there. Let's see what else we got on this boat. Oh, let's see. This will tell us right now if this boat is going to here. Yeah, this boat's never been underwater. You could tell by the, I've been doing this a long time. You could tell by the carpet. And there's actually some decent storage that would be considered indoor storage, not fish gut stuff. This is kind of like a family boat. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty clean. There's some of the plumbing. Alright. This video is a lot longer than I expected it to be. Aft cabin. Let me do the hatches. Are they Bomars? Yeah, they're looking like Bomar aluminum hatches, not the new plastic cheap ones. You can see the cover that's outside. Everything seems to be operational here. And this bad boy looks like it needs a couple of little arms. Yeah, it does. It needs the arms, unless he just took the flomping it backwards, because his kids were jumping on the bow. Which, that's what happened. I'm like Columbo of the boat world. His kids were jumping through there and jumping on the bow, and they finally got rid of the arms. This one still got him. You see the arms that hold it open? He was just flipping that one all the way over. Aft cabin. Pretty good size. He had some girly girl. Must have daughters, this guy. He's got the pinky. Yep, pretty good storage over here. There's a mirror, there's a light. Yeah, I like these. You know, and yet again, more drawers. They did a pretty good job of using up. Okay, I'm going to go back here because I just wanted to show the generator. This is another axis for the generator. And they got it in there pretty tight. If you're a boat mechanic, you're complaining about that. So, drawers got to come out. So between the top and the bottom, you know. But they tell me this thing runs. So, there's your generator. It's a Quicksilver. And actually, somebody just called looking for parts. Okay, so I'm just about done with this video, with this boat. Even the curtains are still there, even the track for the curtains. So the guy did plan on restoring it. I don't think I showed you the stove. Here's the coffee pot, which is a cool little Searay thing built in. Here's the sink, is pretty big. What did I forget to show you guys in this video? Oh, a little ladder. A little extra ladder in there. Here's what the stove looks like. And this refrigerator definitely needs cleaned up. Is this a bad boy? No, it doesn't, does it? Oh yeah, it's got the little extra built-in freezer. Check that out. So you can make your ice right there. If you want extra, you stick it in the freezer. Somebody had put in those Sony speakers afterwards. There's a light. I got another one of those lights. If you see any parts off this boat, feel free to comment on this video or use the contact form on our website. If you're interested in buying this whole boat, it's a serious radar arch. I'm going to have to measure that because people are always looking for radar arches. The radar arch is, I'm going 118. I'm calling it 118 because I'm not all the way over there. It's 118 inches. And storage underneath. Seats there. And that's how that radar arch mounts. Okay. So that's it from a long-winded video. Again, if you have any questions, give us a call. I'm measuring this. Just so I know. In case I gotta be the guy to make them. 28 3/4. .28 3/4 by 9 3/4 is the number. And the depth is gonna be 1.25 inches. Okay. There you go. If you have any questions, feel free to call. I'll walk the outside of the boat for you one more time. Alright, here we go. Down this bad boy. And there's the boat. And I'm not seeing any hull damage. I went over it pretty good before I took this video. It's a big monster. And I'll just show it next to the 2002 310 that the insurance company gave the guy $89,000 for that boat, and it ended up here. But you know what? That's bad mamma jamma right there.